A very good morning to you. Welcome. You'll forgive me if I drink a bit. I'm quite thirsty this morning, very dry-mouthed. But here we are again in Luke chapter 6 and verse 27 to 31. These verses are so rich. Every phrase is a sermon topic. I know in our fellowship, church fellowship, I'm saying that because I don't know if there are those who listen who do not belong to the Monks Yard church fellowship that I belong to. We have been looking at basic Christian concepts, what it means to be a Christian in our Sunday meetings at Monks Yard. And last Sunday, gosh, was that a week ago? Last Sunday, I was leading the meeting and talking about taking control of our emotions and how we deal with our emotions as Christians, and also about forgiveness so that we can say goodbye to the past and move forward in God. And the answer to the how do I possibly forgive someone who has hurt me very deeply or done something really awful to me, these verses tell us how to do it, because you cannot do what we're told to do in these verses and not forgive. It's very hard. Listen, think about it. Here it says, Jesus said, "But I say to you that here, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you." There's 4 phrases there. Love your enemies. Now, love is not really a passive verb. I know there are great books that have been written about romantic love, but even those who love and their love is rejected, they cannot help but express their love and wish well for the person that they love. You cannot love someone and wish them ill. You can't do it. If you love someone, love is very active. Today is Mothering Sunday, when we appreciate and give thanks to God for our mothers and all that they did for us, And loving motherhood is a giving thing. Mothers give. They give almost without thinking about it. They put their children first. We've read many stories this last few weeks of mothers in the Ukraine who, for the safety of their children, have fled their homes, leaving their menfolk behind to fight. What a heartbreaking choice. How do you make a choice between the man you're married to and your children? But when the man you're married to says, take the children to safety, you go, because they're your children. Love is active. Love your enemies. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. That's very active as well, isn't it? That's not saying, okay, they've done something awful. You don't want to have anything to do with them. You want to keep away from them. You're not going to speak to them or communicate with them. You're not going to have anything to do with them after the way that they've behaved towards you and the things that they've done. You're going to shun them. This is the opposite. This is do good to those who hate you. Do good to those who hate. Not leave those who hate you alone. Do good. That is active. That is seeking their well-being. That is finding ways to do something for them that is good. Now that takes some thinking about. Now we've all been in situations where there are people we've known who have hurt us unbearably perhaps, or done something awful. Done something that to the human mind feels unforgivable. And there are lots of things, I don't know where to start to cite some, but in your thinking today, perhaps you can think of an experience you had when someone has hated you, and hatred tends to become active as well. Those who hate you become spiteful and unkind, and they seek ways to show you how much they hate you, to do things to ruin your life. And here is Jesus saying to his followers, do good to those who hate you. We have to be, it's turning the natural response to a really unpleasant situation upside down. And this is the radical nature of our faith in Jesus. And if you are actively looking for good things to do towards those people who hate you, it's impossible to wish them ill if you are working for their benefit. It's very active. It's taking what should be happening inside you and putting it into actual activity. But sometimes the way to get to the thing inside you to change is by changing how you act. So if your response to someone who hates you, who's been unkind to you, who you can't forgive, is to ignore them, leave them alone, you do the opposite. You do the opposite and you do something good for them. I don't know, you send them a gift, or you appreciate something they've done in some other way. What good thing can you think of to do for that person who you hate, who hates you? And as you do that good thing, you cannot remain at enmity with that person. You cannot. Jesus changes us from the inside out. It's radical. It's different. It's not what we come to expect in this world. This is why Christians are so strange to many people, because no matter what you do to persecute them, and how awful you are to them, and how cruel you are, and how vindictive, and how you make laws in your country against Christians, as in many countries in this world, what do the Christians still keep doing is seeking the good of the place that they live in, and working for the good of the community they're among, even when that community is persecuting them. And they can't understand the Christian response, because it's supernatural, because it's God in us working out the words of Jesus. Those two phrases, think about them today. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Look forward to it. Bye-bye.